Hello again. How meaningful was the dent that you guys made in their bullpen last night?
Say that one more time.
I'm sorry. How meaningful was the dent that you made in the Dodgers bullpen last night?
Well, it wasn't meaningful enough to win the game, but I'd rather play to the end. And our guys do a good job of that. If you can tax people, maybe they're not available, maybe their stuff's not the same the next night. There's a reason always to keep playing, but in a short series, it can help you strategically moving forward.
Other questions for Tito? Yeah.
Terry, is there anything you saw heading back to the hotel last night or this morning that kind of put a smile on your face, thinking, all right, these guys are going to be just fine for tonight?
Well, I actually did. It wasn't that. It was my middle daughter sent me a picture, and my 11-year-old granddaughter, who's in Boston, so that's 3 hours difference, sat in front of the TV till the last out, and she had a Reds helmet on backwards. She had a Reds jersey on, and she refused to go to bed. And I remember when I got home, and I'm like, God, there's some good things. It's hard not to smile.
We'll go to the back right corner, Tito.
Terry, I mean, you got incredible hitters behind Ohtani, obviously, but with how hot he's been and what he did in Game 1, do you ever just consider tipping your cap and putting him on base?
You're kidding, right?
I mean,
Have you heard of Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman?
Exactly. It would obviously be a tough decision, but
I think it would be a very poor decision. He's a really dangerous hitter. He's also struck out 185 times this year. That's where we have to get to. You start walking people in that lineup, and you're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Standing in the back.
You've seen this team all season long, Terry. How do you think they'll respond tonight in an elimination game?
They'll play. They'll go compete and play. That's not a concern. My biggest concern is, because it's an elimination game, how far you go with your starter. Because normally you'd like to let your starter work through some issues because they can reward you with innings. You get in an elimination game, and sometimes you can't let them do that. So that's probably the biggest source of anxiety for me.
Other questions? Barry, we'll get you the mic.
Here's more of an esoteric question for you.
I don't know what esoteric means.
Off balance.
Okay, I can be off balance.
Yeah, what I know. What's your take on the amount of veteran managerial talent that lost their jobs this week, and how much you respect all those guys?
Oh boy, that's never I don't care what their ages are. When probably because I've been doing it so long, and I know how hard it can be, and I know how kind of devastating it can be when you do lose your job. It's not just you; it's your family. It affects a lot of things. Your heart goes out to people, whether you want to beat their brains out when you're playing them or not, because there's some really good people and there's some really close friends, and that's the nature of our game. It happens, and that's not the fun part of it.
Other questions? Yeah, get you the microphone.
Hi, Skipper. There was some discussion about the alignment of the league. You mean?
Whoa, hold on. I got trouble on a good day. Slow down.
I'm sorry. There was some discussion about realignment of the major league,
The realignment.
Realignment, and
Of the two I think he's alluding to the notion of realignment.
Go ahead. I'm trying. Go ahead.
And the commissioner said it might be help postseason more appealing. I think it is said about this situation. If they realignment the league, you don't have to have a cross-country trip at the first round. Your fan base don't have to watch the postseason game at 9 p.m. Could you share your thought about that?
I'll try. I think I got about half that. You're talking about realignment possibly in the future?
I think and geographically based.
You know what? I don't pay any attention to stuff I can't control. By the time that happens, I'll probably be sitting in my rocking chair. We're happy to play anywhere. You know, we're young. I'm not young, but our players, we'll fly anywhere to play. That we're okay. There's no, you know, I don't spend much time thinking about that stuff. If it ever happens, okay.
Any questions? All right, Tito, thank you so
All
much.
right, guys, see you.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll get started with Andrew, and we'll start with Mark right up front.
How you doing?
Good.
Obviously, assuming there is a game 3 tomorrow, what excites you about the notion of the idea of getting to pitch in a do-or-die game for both teams?
You know, I'm just extremely humbled, one, to get the opportunity to be here. You know, just speaks to, I think, the work that I've done this year, but it also speaks to the team and how much they trust me to go out and do my job. I wouldn't be here for those guys behind me. So, you know, just to get that opportunity to go and try and perform for them I think it's to be honorable for me.
To your right, Andrew.
You pitched in a lot of big games. You pitched in an all-star game. Do you anticipate a playoff start will be different?
You know, I'll try not to make it any different, really. But I mean, there's going to be heightened pressure. There's going to be, you know, obviously with the lineup and the guys that they have on that side, it's going to be super important to be executing, to be on top of your stuff. But you're not going to try to add any more pressure than what's already on the game. Just try to keep it simple and, you know, just throw strikes and do what I do.
Other questions for Andrew? Yeah.
You've been around this team the entire year. How do you think they'll respond tonight, facing elimination? I know you have your backs against the wall for a couple of weeks now, but how do you think the team will respond tonight?
I mean, you said it best. We've had our backs against the wall. You know, we've been counted out before. I think we just put our head down, do what we do, you know, play small ball, do whatever we got to do to try to scratch across and, you know, use the strengths that we've had this year. Just really rely on each other, rely on the pitching staff, rely on the hitters, rely on the defense, and, you know, just let the chips fall where they may. But, you know, I got a good feeling going in, and I know the guys are going to be ready to go, and just put your head down and go.
We'll go to Mark up front.
You guys have played here, obviously, even as recently as last month. It always seems like it's a packed house and a lot of electricity. Have you noticed, is it not that much different in a playoff game, at least the crowd-wise, because you guys have already kind of been through that a little bit?
I mean, it's always special playing here. It's always been a loud stadium. Guys are really supportive of their team, so you know that coming in. It is a little more heightened during the playoffs. There's a lot more noise. There's the ebbs and flow of the game. You know, score a run, big hit here is going to be a lot more energy in the crowd. But you learn over time how to navigate that kind of stuff and how to not let it affect you so bad. So, you know, they do get loud. They are going to be behind their team, but, you know, we'll be ready to handle that.
To your right, Andrew.
I think you mentioned this after your last start, that when you asked about pitching in the playoffs, sometimes 4 or 5 innings is a long start in the playoffs. Is that the mindset you would have if you get a shot tomorrow, of just trying to give this team 4 or 5 innings and then turning it over to the bullpen?
Tito, when we first got here, kind of discussed how the mindset was going to be. It's just go as hard as you can until I come take the ball from you. Don't focus on how many innings it's going to be. Don't focus on how many outs you're going to get. Just keep going as hard as you can the entire time until he decides, hey, we're going to make a move here. We're going to try to switch it up and put another guy in there.
Anything else for Andrew? All right, Andrew, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.